Hi everyone. So this week's portion is called Mishpatim, but this week is also called Shabbat Shekalim. So what is Shabbat Shekalim and what's the meaning of it? And of course, I love studying from Shmuel, and that's what I'm going to be sharing with you. So basically, the portion of Shekalim that we read, it's a little excerpt of a portion that we read this week. And it always happens 2 weeks before Purim. It describes the half a shekel. Shekel is a coin. So the Shabbat Shekalim, because it's the Shabbat of coins, and it talks about the half a shekel. And the half a shekel was something that every single person was required to contribute on a yearly basis. And of course, there are a couple of questions. Why? What was it for? And what Shmuel is explaining and what the Torah says is that it served as an atonement for sins, for the souls of people. And in those days, it was very strange to do it with coins because in those days, when we had the temple, it usually was sacrifices. I know it sounds weird, but it was usually sacrifices with animals. So the question is, how is it possible that if there's a whole process that needs to be done with sprinkling ashes and bringing a certain kind of animal that was specific for atonement for sins, how is it possible that just giving a half of a coin, and not even a full coin, a half of a coin, would atone for the sins? And to explain this, we need to go a little bit deeper. And basically, the Hebrew word for money is kesef. And in a couple of different places, it talks about kesef, which is silver, and how it's a fiery coin. And what does that mean? It means that once a person buys something with money, they have a strong desire for it, right? If you finally spend money, it means that you want something. So a good deed, or a mitzvah as we call it, or a positive act that we do and we use money for it, if we give a donation or half a shekel, it has some kind of a burning passion inside of us. It gives us this longing to be closer to the Creator. And what happens is that when somebody feels a strong passion for the Creator or for spirituality, and it's actually burning inside of him, he has a desire, he'll give the half a shekel, and that will be the way that he can manifest that desire. But what happens when you lose appetite for spirituality? You lose appetite for life. You find yourself kind of wasting away, especially now with the COVID. You can't get yourself motivated. You can't get yourself excited about life. You can't get yourself out there. So in order to turn that around, it's not just enough to say, oh my gosh, I need to pick myself up and turn around. No, you need to be able to take that energy, take that passion, and kind of ignite the fiery coin, the fiery silver inside of you, to be able to reignite the passion and the desire for life, for spirituality. So that was the only way, and that is the only way that really we can be certain that we won't fall back into our depression or our complacency, or I don't feel like practicing spirituality today, or I don't feel like praying today, or I don't feel like doing a mitzvah today. It's hard to keep that fire. So when we describe the half a shekel and what was given, and we describe Amalek stands for doubts. What happens in this portion? What do we read? We read about the nation of Amalek who tries to destroy the Israelites. But what is Amalek? Amalek is our doubts in ourselves, our doubts in others, our doubts in our passion, our doubts in spirituality, our doubts in our Creator. So when the people of Israel performed the spirituality, the good deeds, and they did it with a burning desire to be closer to the Creator, to be closer to some kind of a higher power, then they were invincible. And that's why they were able to give the half a shekel. But as soon as they lost their enthusiasm, as soon as they didn't want to be part of anything bigger than themselves, that's when Amalek came in. That's when the enemy was able to strike. And what does that mean for us? As soon as we lose passion for our life, as soon as we lose passion for what we do, not just for spirituality, we get up in the morning, do I want to be the best I am? Do I want to be the best at what I'm doing? Once I have that fire ignited inside of me all the time, then there's no place for doubts to come in. There's no time for doubts to come in because we're busy trying to make a difference in our lives, in lives of others. We're busy trying to be the best that we can be. So we can understand that the simple deed of giving the half a shekel can actually make a person join the community, be part of life. Because what do? How does Amalek come in? We separate ourselves. Amalek is separation. Amalek is doubt. When we decide that we're not excited about our life, we're not excited about our jobs, we're not excited about spirituality, who wants to pray? Who wants to come? Here we do services every Saturday morning and hopefully this week, Friday night, outside. Who wants to come in the cold? Who wants to come during COVID and get out of the house? That's when Amalek comes in. But if we're able to keep that fire, if we're able to join the community and be one with everybody, that's where we can reignite the fire. And so the half a shekel represented every single person in the community and how they could reignite their fire and reignite a way for them, not just to atone their sins, but to keep that fire going of spirituality, to keep that fire going of being closer to the Creator and being part of something. And so that's why on Purim, and hopefully we'll have a lecture on Purim, hopefully whoever can will do something outside on Purim. That's why in Purim we give the 3 coins, we give a donation to symbolize the half a shekel that the Israelites gave way back then. And also I wanted to add that it's not just on Purim. Every time you are able to give a donation, big or small, and no matter to where it is, when you actually take money and give something, it ignites something inside of you, especially if you earned that money, if you worked for it. It ignites a passion. At least I know for myself, when I'm able to give, I feel like I'm being part of something. It's igniting inside of me the excitement to be part of a community, to be able to give. And that helps me, and I'm sure it helps everybody, get excited, especially in our days. Thank you.